Greetings. This video is about how to use an ebook textbook. In this case, I have a link that's been just emailed to me, but in your situation, potentially your professor has provided you a link in your Schoology course. Usually it's a really long URL that looks like this, probably has EBSCO somewhere in the middle of it. This allows you to look at your textbook online through the library at no cost to you, the user. So I'm going to start by just clicking on the link. Now, depending on the type of ebook that it is, the licensing agreement, how the instructor provided the URL, and so on, you may see a screen that's a little bit different than this. But this is a good example of how it would normally look. So this is an education book. It will tell you various and sundry things on the screen. So for example, this one has unlimited user access. You can print, email, or save 100 pages. Maybe do some copy and paste, maybe not, and so on and so on. A few things to look at. Here's the description of the book. Over on the right-hand side, if you needed to cite the book for some reason, create a footnote, whatever, this is the citation link for that. And this gives you the link to the book. All right, so this one happens to come in several different formats. You could do a full download. I'm not sure that the download persists for a long time. And they're really normally, unless you're going to be like in the Gobi Desert or in a medical facility where there's no Wi-Fi, you really don't need to download this. And ebooks really don't get checked out in the same way that a real book, a physical book, gets checked out. You're not going to have it for a specific amount of time. You're just using it for as long as you're using it. All right. So here are a couple different options. There's an Epub full text and there's a PDF full text. I find the PDF full text to be easier to use. I'm just going to click on that. It's going to take a moment to open. And when it does, you're going to see essentially the cover in this big window over here. And over on the left, you're going to see essentially what is the table of contents. That's really great. So you could skip to, for example, if you knew that you're supposed to be reading chapter 1, you can just click on chapter 1 and it will open in this window. There is a download link. You could just download chapter 1. But again, if you're not going to be away from Wi-Fi or away from internet access, there really is no reason to download any of this. So you're just going to be able to read it on the screen like this, scrolling through it. Okay. A couple of advantages to ebooks over physical books. You can't lose them. They're available at 2 o'clock in the morning. Even if you didn't bring your book bag home with you or whatever, you can always get to this link as long as you have it, or you should be able to search for it as well. The other cool advantage is that, for example, you can search within. So if you need a quote and you knew that you read something in here that was related to math, you can search for math. And it will show you all the different pages on which the word math occurs. And you can say, oh, okay, it was this one about test scores for boys and girls. I can click on this and it will take me to page 18 where that actually occurs. Okay, so that's another advantage of it. Another advantage might be that you could download this. That would be another reason to download, and use something like a screen reader or a PDF reader if listening to it is a better paradigm for you than trying to read it. So this is essentially how this works. You're just going to look at it online. You're really not going to bother doing any kind of printing or whatever unless you really, really need to. If you really need to, there's some options here for printing pages, emailing pages, or saving pages. Note that, again, depending on the licensing of the specific book that you're working on, those options may not be available. While there is a download option available, we will cover that in another video because it requires some logins and things that we don't want to take time to cover here. But do happily read what you need to read online. That's usually how it works. If you have any questions about this or something isn't working for you, you can email help@carthage.edu from your Carthage email account. And that will create a ticket that we can reach out to you and help you with your library questions. Thanks very much.